I'm gonna pray for you.
They're showing more gross pictures of this sauce. We should just call it sauce. Maybe she needs to just reconfigure the whole recipe or just call it sauce at this point. I mean, that is not a glowing review from the Daily Mail, okay? Not at all. So this is what it's come to, you guys. But she said jam was her jam. And that's the problem. Remember when she made that Instagram story where she said, and as you know, jam is my jam. Well, it's not jam, Meghan. You promised us jam, Meghan. We don't have jam, Meghan. We have sauce. We don't want sauce. We want jam. Just like we want privacy. We want privacy. Remember that? They don't want privacy. They want a jam empire, folks. And they want people like Dr. Sophie Chambuca to just step the heck down and get in line, okay?
You know why I'm the most mad? Because it's my freaking fault. If not succeed, then try again. I've been doing this for fucking 30 minutes. Now, we let this bitch cook with no heat. So, I guess thaw. Let's just keep going. Get out! Get out! Bang reveal! I'm not gonna look. Does it look good, guys? Be honest. This looks nothing like hers. When I shush it out, it's gonna be super pretty. Okay. How's this? I've accepted life. Listen, when stuff goes wrong in life, sometimes it feels better to embrace it. Instead of getting upset, why not do something different with the look? Overall, this hack failed for me, and it was definitely user error. As always, thank you for watching. Bye!
Elevate the everyday. Well, if she wants to see the everyday, she needs to come into my kitchen and see the crumbs on the floor and on the countertop and, you know, the trash that has to be taken out and the dishes in the sink and all that stuff. So yes, the production value is beautiful. It is gorgeous. The one thing that I also was thinking of was that she mentioned several times during several episodes about how it is not her home, it is not her kitchen. That in of itself is not relatable, and that's not elevating the everyday. You don't elevate the everyday cooking in a rented stranger's kitchen.
I'd say you're full of crap.
I really think that she would have done herself a huge, huge favor if she would have actually let people inside her actual home to say, this is my home. People would have probably gotten a little bit more on board with that and given her some credit. And she had mentioned, I guess, that she didn't want 80 people trampling through her home during the whole production. I don't know if it's really 80 though. Maybe 10, maybe 15 max. But I mean, even if people did come in and make a little bit of a mess, they would probably clean up and they would pay people to deep clean. For me, what made this show particularly difficult to watch is I never really saw Meghan just take a breath, drop her shoulders, and just be herself. I don't know if we've ever seen herself. She is insisting that she is just trying to be relatable. She's trying to elevate the everyday, but I did not see her just relax. Whether she's by herself talking to us, the viewer, or whether she's got somebody there in her kitchen that's supposedly a dear friend that she's talking to. I never got the feeling that Meghan let her guard down with any of these people, because I noticed throughout the entire series that Meghan has a habit of not looking at the person that's talking to her. She doesn't look at them while they're talking to her, and she never really looks at somebody when she's talking to them. She's always staring up into the ceiling or making gestures like this. And yes, for example, when I'm making a video, sometimes but I just noticed that with her, it was all the time. And that's body language 101. That's something that you learn when you take a speech class in high school or in college. You learn to find a person or two in the audience if you have to speak in front of a group, and you look, you make eye contact. It shows that you're a real human person trying to relate to another real human person in the audience. And when you do that, they kind of let their guard down and you let your guard down. And I never got that feeling. She's presenting the recipes and she's doing things, but you remember when she was rebagging those pretzels, she took store-bought pretzels and rebagged them into a clear plastic bag. And she's talking about, it's just elevating the ordinary. It's just taking the simple things and it's all about the details, and you can replate things and make them more beautiful, and it's not hard to do. I don't know who this show is for, because if it's for the type of people that she hangs out with, those people have people to do this type of stuff for them. They can pay them. So they don't want to have to do this stuff. And if she's trying to market to people like me, I am not going to rebag pretzels. I'm not going to bang on and on about, oh, I brought store-bought croissants home, but I'm going to arrange them on a pretty platter in a basket or whatever it is.
I'd say you're full of crap.
Because it's just not feasible. If you want to be relatable, moms, especially moms that are super busy, whether they work in the home or outside of the home, we got stuff to do. And all this rebagging and replating and like elevating the ordinary with all of these vegetable platters and different things that she's doing, it's just more stuff for us to wash afterwards and like to take down after. And it just seemed like it was just superfluous. It wasn't necessary. And I don't know, to me, it kind of feels like she's pointing out that it's not that difficult to do what she's doing. She's pointing it out almost as if to ward off the criticism of the people that are going to tell her that this is completely mundane and ordinary. What are you doing? Because she's constantly throwing out that disclaimer to us that, yes, this is just super simple. Anyone can do it. It's super simple. Anyone can do it. Well, if it's super simple and anyone can do it, why do you have a Netflix show about it?
I'd say you're full of crap.
Like even with the whole bath salt debacle. I mean, I came home today and my mom was watching the Sidley twins, and the Sidley twins had a picture of the Daily Mail website where they were talking about the risks of the bath salt recipe, and they had my picture in the article and it said esthetician, something like experts warn about this recipe, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But it's just like, I mean, even if she would have just looked into the camera and said, this is what I'm doing, this is what you have to do as far as 2 tablespoons here, 2 drops here, 8 drops here, 10 drops here, just something. Give us a little bit of explanation. If something is super simple, that's cool, but you can give us a little bit more detail, just a little bit more to help us out. But she didn't seem to want to do that. It really seemed like she was way more concerned with how her hair looked, how her outfits looked. Another thing I noticed was she would be in the kitchen and she would be prepping for a guest and she would look really nice. Perfectly acceptable. Hair, makeup, whatever. Sometimes she had the hair all hanging and, you know, everyone's talked about that. Hair in the food, hair salad, gross. But sometimes she had her hair pulled back. But point being, she always looked nice and she looked pretty. But then she would say, okay, now I've done all this to prepare and now I have to go freshen up. And I'm thinking, you're pretty frosh. You're pretty frosh already. 3 outfit changes in one day is not relatable. I mean, I don't know. She just has a stiffness that is palpable, and it's hard to look away from, and it's hard not to feel it. There's nothing new being presented. All the ideas feel dated, 15, 20 years old. There's nothing really that is supposedly elevating our ordinary lives. And that's supposedly the premise of this show, is that she wants to elevate the ordinary. I didn't really learn anything from Meghan herself that I didn't feel like I already knew or couldn't just find out with a quick 5-second Google search. I always felt like the exchanges were extremely superficial, and Meghan always steered the conversation back to her very, very quickly. She did that in her Archetypes podcast, and actually it was announced to her new Limonado podcast is coming out, and it's called, I believe, Confessions of a Female Founder or something like that. We all know how many business obstacles and hurdles and all the botched decisions that she's been making regarding her failed business, American Riviera Orchard, and now this As Ever. This topic would have been fantastic for her to maybe tackle as her first podcast idea, because now I don't really know how well it's going to be received.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Knowing about her what we know now. And we all know that she doesn't really let a lot of people talk. She talks over them all the time, or she brings it back to her. So again, I don't really know how this is going to go, but I wish her the best of luck. But yeah, okay.
Nailed it.
I know she's hyper aware of the things that people say about her, and I know that she's trying to counter that in the way that she speaks, in the tone of her voice, all of it. If you'll notice in the show, she whispers a lot. She also makes a lot of really flowy hand gestures, from the way she pulls a pot lid off and lays it down, trying to come across as someone that's gracious and graceful. I think it's almost like a defense mechanism, because in real life, you are softened a bit, and if you're a little bit angry or upset and you encounter someone that's got a slow manner of speaking and carrying themselves and gesturing, that kind of puts you at ease. So I think that it's a very deliberate attempt on her part to put the audience at ease, so that we will be less apt to criticize and out things that we don't like about the show. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but I really picked up on that. Every single thing in her kitchen, whether she's pouring the half and half, the milk, the creamer, whatever she's doing, nothing has a label. It's all been decanted into something else that looks aesthetically pleasing and minimal. I don't know if you guys have ever watched The Pioneer Woman, people like that, or even Ina Garten, even the Barefoot Contessa. Her kitchen and her scenery was beautiful, but I really got the feeling that it was a lived-in, worked-in kitchen. Or you guys remember Nigella Lawson? I loved watching Nigella Lawson, and it would always show Nigella going into her pantry and pulling out things, and you could see the labels, you can see the names of everything. I lived in London for 2 years. That's where I had my twins. So I used to like watching her because I could see all of those British brands she had in her pantry, and like Heinz beans, stuff like that. But everything in her kitchen is just all decanted and minimal. It's just nondescript. And she's talking about store-bought croissants, and yeah, they're store-bought, but she's going to put them in a basket, and she's going to make a presentation with basil or mint leaves or whatever it is, and strawberries and things. And again, it's like, there's just another thing for me to have to put away and try to clean. There's an exchange between her and Vicky, her friend, and I really found it very telling. And in this episode, it's extremely noticeable. Vicky's talking to her the entire time, and Meghan is just looking down, whether Vicky's talking to her or whether Meghan is talking to Vicky. It's palpable. It's so noticeable, and I could very much feel and see the sadness in Meghan. Meghan very desperately wants to be liked, and she wants to be understood. Yet she doesn't want to be truthful and honest with us, and she doesn't want to open up to us. She has a wall and she's only going to put her hands up against that wall and whisper to it so that we can kind of hear, and she wants us to accept her, but she's not going to pull the wall down. The eye contact is almost non-existent, and when she is talking, it's almost like she's making a presentation to you, the viewer, with that person kind of there as an innocent bystander. There's a lot of like dramatic type of blinking and all that type of stuff, and she punctuates everything with these flowing gestures. But I think she's very afraid to show people the real Meghan, and she feels like she has to present this version of herself that she thinks is going to go over, but that's what feels so stiff. So Meghan is basically telling Vicky that it was Vicky who gave her the idea that if something is broken, that is actually what gives it even more beauty, because when you fix it, it's stronger and therefore more beautiful. And I just think that it felt really symbolic of saying to anyone that even though you've been through something, you're not broken. It can be fixed. It can be healed and sealed at the same time. We all know what she's doing. She's telling the viewer, I've been through some things. I've been broken, but I am emerging even more beautiful and strong now, despite everything that I've been through. She's also using this series, just like she used archetypes as a vehicle to clap back to the people that were criticizing her. That everyone is criticizing her. The criticism is unfounded. You don't know the real her. You broke her and fractured her and hurt her. She's a victim, but she is now stronger and more beautiful than ever. Things that have been dropped can be put back together and be beautiful again. And then there's one point where she kind of like looks down and makes that face as if to say, yes, you are talking about me. And in case the audience didn't know, I'm telling you with my face that we are talking about me. So many people have said that she is a narcissistic personality, that she's pathological, that she's a sociopath. I don't know if she has ever been formally diagnosed. I doubt it. There are some reputable people that have written about her and made videos about her that do have degrees and expertise in those subjects that clearly state that in their humble medical opinions that they believe that she is of this narcissistic personality bent. If that's the case, she's suffering, but I don't think she realizes how to get out of it. I think in her mind, if everyone would just stop criticizing her and love her, that everything would be right and everything would be solved and perfect. She's hurt a lot of people in her family and in his family, and they haven't taken accountability for any of it, and they haven't said sorry for any of it. And I think the biggest emotional crime they committed was calling people racist without proof. They tried to disgrace and take down the British monarchy with claims that could not be verified and proven, and that did a lot of damage, and that hurt a lot of people. And she's never addressed it, and she's never come out and said, you know, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe like just nothing. It was really hard for me to see her kind of wince and make these like faces as if, yeah, I'm broken and I'm fractured and I was hurt, but I'm okay. Nothing is gonna harm me. I'm more beautiful. You still have to ask for forgiveness, but she's never going to, because I don't think she ever thinks that she did anything wrong. That's why I wanted to talk about this video. I see so much of the focus on me with Meghan in this episode. She's constantly trying to get everything back to her, but she's not really giving anything. And she does show us that she's making these harvest baskets, and she's making this jam, and she's cooking for her guests, and this is her version of giving and all this kind of stuff. But what would be even better is if she slowed down and gave of herself in a really authentic way, in the way that she looks at people, to just drop the act, drop the mask, and just be present and real to the person in front of her. That is a gift. And that seems like a gift that she is unwilling to give. Jesus calls us to be selfless. It's so hard, but we need to really start being more outwardly focused on people around us. What do they need? How can they feel cherished? How can they feel heard? And it gets hard when we're so focused on ourselves and what we want to do, but that is what we're called to do. You don't even have to be Christian to know that it is a good thing to really focus on other people and to stop turning things so inward all the time, and to stop being so insulated and worrying about ourselves all the time. And that was just what was so glaringly obvious to me watching this show, watching her emote. She is performing. She is trying to get us to love her, and it's falling flat because it doesn't feel genuine. It looks pretty, right? Love me, but there's no real communication. There's no real emotion. I don't feel anything.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Okay, last Saturday, Miss Gwyneth Paltrow, Goop, Mrs. Goop extraordinaire, she released a video on her Instagram where she's seen in her kitchen making what she called a boyfriend breakfast, which is basically bacon, eggs, and biscuits. No big deal, right? But she was seen wearing no makeup, and she just had her PJs on, and she was playing with her dog, and she was in her house, right? And the whole big thing online was that she was trolling Meghan Markle, that, it was her kitchen and she's the original lifestyle guru, or one of them, right? No makeup, no hair extensions hanging in the food. She's Gwyneth, and she's awesome. And yeah, totally, totally trolling Meghan, right? So if you did not see that video, let's watch it, okay? I don't have sound on because you get a copyright if you play this music. So she's looking out her window. She's got her eggs and she's got her jam and she's got her biscuit, and she's going to make her biscuit. And everyone's like, yeah, she preheated her oven, unlike Meghan, right? On the show, everyone was saying Meghan wasn't preheating her oven. And she does a kick and she acts all silly. And it shows her with her dog and she's petting her dog. And I did notice that Meghan didn't pet Guy like that, her dog that passed. But anywho, and yeah, she's making her eggs and everything's just hunky dory and great in Gwenland. Okay, big deal. So that is the video that sent off this firestorm. And in between that, her Vanity Fair article dropped, where in the Vanity Fair article, she was basically asked that, how do you feel about Meghan trying to enter in the lifestyle arena? And Gwyneth was being actually pretty gracious, saying that she doesn't care, she doesn't feel threatened, she supports women, whatever women want to do. And then they had asked about if they knew her, and her response was, well, I don't really know her. I live in Montecito, but I don't know her. Maybe I'll get past her security detail and give her and Harry a pie or something, right? So then this, okay? Just wait. Just watch it.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
Do you guys know what that is? That's a banana halved with granola and looks like jam. Maybe there's a state honey on there, I don't know. But there's So that's what she posted the same day or something, that Gwyneth supposedly, I swear, that's what she posted the same day that Gwyneth posted her boyfriend breakfast. Why? That's what I want to know. I want to know, why was Gwyneth Paltrow feeling compelled to even do this?
I'd say you're full of crap.
I don't understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
Okay, well, do you really buy that? I don't know if I buy that. I mean, come on. The whole world has been talking about how vapid and inauthentic and just all around terrible Meghan's Netflix show has been. I mean, I even saw a video of an Irish Catholic priest, okay, talking about how you could watch not as ever, sorry. I'm getting these all mixed up. How you can watch With Love, Meghan as part of your penance for Lent. Maybe I'll find that video for you of that priest. But so she's saying, I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I think you do, old Gwenny. Gwenny. Gwyneth Paltrow did not get to be Gwyneth Paltrow without knowing how to work behind the scenes and troll people a little bit. Okay. So for her, I mean, she survived Harvey Weinstein in Hollywood. Okay. So this woman's savvy. All right. So I don't buy this for a second. I think that Gwen was trolling Meghan in that first video. And I think maybe because she's not a soulless narcissist, she probably felt a little bad about it when she saw like how crazy everyone on the internet got, like, go Gwen, yeah, you're trolling Meg, So I think that this is a little bit of guilt on Gwenny's part. So as if to say she doesn't understand why people would think she had a beef. You know what I mean? It doesn't entirely ring true to me, but she knew what would happen. And let me just tell you, if you ever think for 1 second, for 1 microsecond, that celebrities don't care about us normals, don't ever think that. They care so much what we think.
Pick me. Choose me. Love me.
It is so evident. This what we're seeing right now, this is a news story that started because of normal people reacting to something on social media. This type of story is completely manufactured in here because of the rise of social media. This type of story would never even have entered the public collective 20 years ago. 20 years ago, all we had were the rag mags on the newsstands and maybe e-television and magazines and stuff. We had what publicists and magazines and newspapers and TV wanted us to know. And now we've got a whole army of social media warriors out there, normal people that have something to say about everything. And that is entirely why this is even part of the news cycle. So before we go to this, yeah, I guess it's just too good. Meghan and Gwen squashed their beef. So now, because of these two stupid Instagram story videos, this is now a news story talking about in the lifestyle guru area that she doesn't feel intimidated or upset that Meghan is trying to launch something similar to what she's done with Goop. And also Gwyneth has a podcast as well, the Goop podcast, which has actually been out since 2018. So, she's just basically saying, this is not a feud. It's all fine. Here's, And it's saying, throughout Meghan's series, she looked flawless in luxury designer gear and hired out a kitchen, which was not her own. Paltrow, on the other hand, went makeup free while sporting casual striped pajamas for her video. And then they were saying that she was so relatable, she was makeup free, she was carefree, it was her own kitchen. That's why all of this started, is because everyone knew exactly what Gwen was doing. She was trolling Meghan. As Apple Martini says, and being as relatable as she can be in her PJs, hair not styled, no makeup, sipping coffee, no one praising her, just on her phone filming, simple and easy. Go Gwyneth, says Pearl Luna, and she has a real dog in her own real kitchen on her own real property. So, come on. So Gwen knew exactly what was going to happen when she released that video. You know what I mean? Come on. So I think this is a guilty face. This is a really guilty face. And it's either one of two things. It's either she trolled her, she knew what she was doing, but as the firestorm started on social media, she probably felt a little bad, probably because she knows that Meghan has really been through the fire since January. Or she did it and she doesn't care. And what we're looking at now is one middle-aged woman and one woman in her early 50s really wanting to stay relevant and really wanting their names out there. GP was a big deal back in her heyday. So I think there was some behind the scenes stuff going on. I think that there was a little powwow going on, like, hey, let's just come together and let's get some good publicity. Everything's been negative, so let's just make a little 10-second story that's going to make everyone talk for a whole week. You know how sometimes when people make cameos and they don't say anything, it's because they're uber famous and you haven't seen them and they're kind of like an Easter egg in a movie or a TV show or something. It's just like this cool, rare sighting. And you see them and they don't really say anything, but it kind of adds to the mystery of who they are. And do you understand what I'm saying? And I kind of feel like she's been so vocal all the time. And then now she's not going to say anything? Come on. She's not saying anything because it's not scripted. Everything that this woman is involved in is scripted, whether it's a podcast, whether it's her show, whether it's a interview in a magazine like The Cut or whatever it is that she can control. She's not saying anything because she's so scared of being authentic. She's scared to show us her real self. And instead, she's just going to sit there and kind of let Gwen take over and hopefully maybe bask in some of the good press that she hopes Gwen is going to throw her way. Like when you look at stuff like this, like why would you it just boggles my mind. It's so weird. The podcast trailer that I listened to.
I'm Meghan, and this is Confessions of a Female Founder,
I'm gonna pray for you.
a show where I chat with female entrepreneurs and friends
I'd say you're full of crap.
about the sleepless nights, the lessons learned. We're diving into the highs.
If not succeed, then try again.
What's going on?
And the lows.
I've pissed off everybody.
I've been doing this for fucking 30 minutes.
I'm broke. And no one's calling me.
Oh no.
Pick me. Choose me. Love me.
And the kind of advice that turns small ideas into billion-dollar businesses.
I'd say you're full of crap.
Launching April 8th. Let's do this, ladies.
She didn't learn anything from archetypes. She didn't learn one thing about how to be authentic, how to come across as authentic. All she has to do is turn on a camera, just like how Gwen just did, and just be normal. Or make a video like how Gwen did. No makeup, just in your kitchen, just be normal. Turn on a camera like how what I'm doing and just talk and be normal and, blah, 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 stumble over your words and be stupid. Don't have an agenda. Just genuinely go into it wanting to connect with people. Gosh, I don't even know what to say, you guys. I know. I mean, I know this woman needs serious prayer. Serious prayer. Serious prayer. Yeah.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Meghan Markle is nemesis. She is the anti-monarchy. Thank God they're out there in Montecito. Thank God they've ended up herself and her poor deluded noggins of a husband. Okay, and all right, say what you like again about the husband and the others. He is a former and distinguished soldier, as are his uncles, as was his father. Say what you like about them. They do not deserve to be connected like this to somebody who is clearly operating at such a shallow level. Yeah? So I recommend, I'm done now. I'm done, okay? I'm done. Because who's listening anyway? I recommend that you watch some of this. You could do it for Lent. Okay, offered up. You could do it for Lent. I'd be surprised if you don't start enjoying it in spite of yourself. Okay, because as I said, it's cat. It's cat in the Irish sense, meaning that it's bloody awful. All right? But it's so cat. It's catissimo. It's so cat. It's actually quite good. Okay? It's actually quite good. It's enjoyable. So get yourself, if you're not off them for Lent, a packet of wine gums or some popcorn, right? You sit back and you just drink in the mediocrity and savor the narrow escape that one of the most distinguished royal lines in the world has just had. That's what I'm going to say to you. As a good Irishman, I say, God save the king. And he's going to need it.
I'm gonna pray for you. Nailed it.
Now, I don't wish Meghan any ill will here. Praise be to God. Hopefully, if this is actually the woman now taking the bull by the horns and trying to make something of herself in a business capacity, fine, go for it. Good luck to you. But I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that when she was in her heart of hearts, wishing for worldwide fame and adoration and all these things, to be a billionaire and build her brand and empire, that at the center of it was raspberry spread. I'm sorry, but I do not buy that was her worldwide dream, to release a spread and hibiscus tea and dried flowers in a tin. I don't think that that's what she wanted to be known for. I think that she wanted to be Diana 2.0. That plan failed, so then they left in a big huff, and I believe that she wanted to go to Hollywood. She wanted to go to Hollywood, and she thought that the title was going to kind of reintroduce her to Hollywood. And everything was going to be hunky-dory, and she was going to be the next Angelina Jolie or something. That didn't pan out. That didn't pan out, you guys. And do you remember how at the Lion King premiere, Harry was overheard on the red carpet talking to Bob Iger, trying to plug his wife for future Disney projects, saying that she does voiceovers and she blah, 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 blah. And then COVID happened, right? They get to America via Canada, COVID's going on, they're locked down, so her plans are kind of put on hold there. But rather than be quiet, rather than mind your own business and live a private life like you kept banging on that you wanted to do, they just start with their shenanigans and they start holding Zoom meetings from their Montecito mansion and acting like they're royals stateside, and more people started catching on. People are like, who are these faux royals? Why are they acting royal, holding court in Montecito here, trying to compete with the royals? And it became so hysterical. Whenever the royal family would do something, they always had to chime in with their own things. You could see it was such blatant weird competition. Like, calm down, people. What are you trying to do? So I believe that all that behavior crushed their or her Hollywood dreams. So then after that, it was okay that they're going to be humanitarians, and then they're traveling all over. That seemed shady. And then that wasn't really working. And so now, finally, according to her, she's doing what she always wanted to do, which was start her empire. And oh yeah, that it all had to do with jam. I don't buy it, and I don't think anyone else buys it either, to be quite honest with you. It's headline saying Meghan spread too thin, because remember, it's not jam, it's not jelly or preserve, it's spread. And everyone's talking about how watery this stuff is, like it sogs out the toast. Reviewers are saying it might be a good topping, like a good runny topping, say on ice cream or a crepe or something, but on toast it misses the mark, which is what 99.9% of people who, if they're buying this stuff, that's what they're buying it for. They're toast in the morning. And if it's going to sog out and be all watery, people are going to be like, what? And I guess people were saying that they thought that it had melted in transit. It was so watery. So it's talking about how it's super thin, and the article says it might be time for her to concentrate on a new formula. And can we just talk about this packaging? Do we really need that for a jam? Nobody has the time, money, or inclination. And for a couple that also brands themselves such crazed environmentalists, and they're always on everyone about not flying and being good to the environment and this and that, they're wasting all of that time, money, energy, and resources on that type of packaging. But anyhow, they're showing more gross pictures of this sauce. We should just call it sauce. Maybe she needs to just reconfigure the whole recipe, or just call it sauce at this point. I mean, that is not a glowing review from the Daily Mail, okay? Not at all. So this is what it's come to, you guys. But she said jam was her jam. And that's the problem. Remember when she made that Instagram story where she said, and as you know, jam is my jam. Well, it's not jam, Meghan. You promised us jam, Meghan. We don't have jam, Meghan. We have sauce. We don't want sauce. We want jam. Just like we want privacy. We want privacy. Remember that? They don't want privacy. They want a jam empire, folks. And they want people like Dr. Sophie Chambuca to just step the heck down and get in line, okay? Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a self-proclaimed advocate for women of color, as she wants to be, or acts like she wants to be? You can't make this up, you guys. You cannot make this up. What do you guys think about all this madness? I'm telling you, I can't keep up. Oh, there's one more thing. Another thing she's been getting a lot of flack for is the fact that she is now peddling clothes and beauty items and things like that on her own Shop My webpage. Now, I have a Shop My. And I have skincare recommendations, makeup recommendations, different things like that. And it's all in my Shop My. Now, I'm not gonna bag on Meghan for having a Shop My, but what I will say is I'm a small potatoes creator. It's not like I've got a huge audience, and I love and appreciate every single one of you. There's a lot of smaller creators, medium-sized creators, and even bigger creators that have Shop My's. But once you get to the name recognition of someone like a Meghan Markle, what you really want are brand deals. You want to work with brands directly. The Christian Dior's and Prada's and all that of the world. That's what you want to do. You don't really need to provide product links. Her name recognition should allow her to work with brands directly so that she doesn't have to go through putting up a third-party website with links for you to go buy stuff that she likes so that she could make a small commission too. I'm small potatoes. She's the Duchess of Sussex. Why is she doing this? The only thing I could think of is that brands don't want to work with her. Big name brands do not want to be associated with her and her husband. They are divisive. That's why she's not making these brand deals. And also a part of me looks at her Shop My page and I'm like, I noticed that she is merching the makeup she wore on her wedding day, you guys. And I understand that a lot of influencers that talk about beauty products and skincare and health stuff, they may or may not have a background in those things, but the ones that are really liked and the ones that are respected are the ones that do have somewhat of a background in the things that they're talking about. So just the fact that she is peddling beauty products, and mind you, beauty products that she wore 7-8 years ago, she's just haphazardly throwing up links of something that she wore 8 years ago, trying to make money off it. To me, that screams, this is so low effort. That's so lazy. That's not doing anything. And not only that, but products that are 8 years old, I'm not necessarily saying that if a problem's older, you can't like it. But point being, you're not keeping up with anything new. You're not showing us why you like these things. You're not talking to us about anything. It's not like she's bringing any type of knowledge to the table to help her followers or her viewers or her admirers. It's just throwing out links. It's the laziest thing that you can do. And give her some relatability tips, give her some filming tips, like how to film a tutorial, how to talk to people about stuff. It's just sad to watch. It's sad to watch them go through all of this, and they're bringing it all on themselves. They're digging themselves deeper and deeper in, but yet they're not learning anything. Things that they've done in the past that have really hurt and upset people, but yet they're carrying on as if those things didn't matter, and yet now she's so wonderful and wants you to click on all her links. Make this make sense. It's just really scary how the world is crumbling around her and she's always got a smile plastered on her face. She's always smiling. I mean, a normal person would not be smiling when your husband's name is being dragged down in the mud and your name is being dragged in the mud all the time. You wouldn't be smiling like that. Maybe she should do an interview and nothing off the table. Deal with the uncomfortable questions and maybe apologize and take ownership. I think that that's the way that she's going to heal internally and heal her reputation. But again, I've said before, the reputation is the least of this woman's worries. She needs to get right with herself, God, and her family, and his family. But anyway, so let me get off my soapbox. I'm off.